This whole online pass thing is bollocks. It's complete bullshit. Charging a used gamer $10 to play the online mode of a game is ridiculous. First of all, it has some really potential backlash problems for the publishers themselves. I mean, right now, many gamers think of THQ as a greedy, scum-sucking piece of shit. And I don't think that because, I like THQ. I think they've got a good commitment to quality lately and they're really pulling stuff out of the hat. But they're making people think that they're fucking dickheads.
Don't fucking just slam that on the fucking table.
It's fine, there's no games that work with it.
It breeds resentment among gamers, and all it does is punish used gamers. It doesn't reward new gamers, and that's my biggest problem. I've always said that it's a very unimaginative parent who can only think to punish their child and never think to reward them. And that's what I see with this unimaginative, lazy approach to trying to make some more sales on new games. And don't believe what publishers tell you when they talk about used games as if they're the most damaging thing in the world. They're not. In fact, I almost guarantee it. I mean, I can't because I can't prove it, but I guarantee it nonetheless because I'm a journalist and we can make these wild claims. That if you took the used games market out of the industry tomorrow, the industry would be in a fucking shit heap. Because publishers rely on new sales more than they'd like you to believe. I mean, you get something like Danny Bilson at THQ saying, oh, well, I'd love to make more $50 million budget games, but used games mean I can't. Bullshit. For a start, 90% of game sales generally come at launch, not a week later when all the used games are on the market. Second of all, you can only have used games if those games were bought new in the first place. So if you've got a lot of used sales, you've also got a lot of new sales. And the most important fact is the fact that GameStop's whole policy is based on you buy a new game, you play it, and you trade it in. And that right there is what is making the $60 luxuries, because that's what a game is, more affordable. Ever since I was a pauper with no job, up to the point where I am now, where I'm reasonably well off, I've relied on trade-in credit to help me buy new games. You buy a game at $60, you play it, if you're done with it and you don't see yourself coming back to it, take it to GameStop or GameStation or wherever, get trade-in credit and put that credit towards a new game. In GameStop's 2009 financial report, they said that's what people do. They trade their stuff in, they amass their credit, and then when a new game comes out that they want, they will buy it. And I think if you take away the ability to soften that $60 blow, you will really harm your games. And THQ, of all companies, should know this. They should know that UFC 2010 Undisputed, or whichever order that goes in, failed against Red Dead Redemption. Because people wanted that game, and they didn't have $120 to spend that week on 2 games. However, if they had a lot of credit, it wouldn't really matter to them whether they got those 2 games or not. I hate to break it to you publishers, but some games are worth $60 and some games aren't. And I think the popularity of used sales backs me up here. I'm not the only consumer who thinks that some games just aren't worth spending $60 on, whether you want us to or not. And doing this whole online pass thing, it won't guarantee new sales. I mean, it'll piss off used consumers and it might mean they'll never buy your games ever again. It might stop people stumbling on one game, buying it used, thinking it's awesome, and then buying the sequel brand new. All it does is just say, don't buy used games, and don't buy new games. Do something to reward new customers. Make your games worth $60. Do something like Epic did, where they gave you unlockable codes for first-time buyers to get like gold guns and things. Just little things that make it worth buying new. You've done nothing to tell us why we should buy your games brand new, other than say, oh, poor us, poor publishers, you know, we've let it publicly be known that we'll screw you over any chance we get, but we want you to feel sorry for us that we're being screwed over. That's not working. That's not gonna work. Let us know why we should buy your game at $60. Give us a reason, other than, oh, feel sorry for us. Because I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for you. This is an industry where people like Bobby Kotick say, oh, I'd charge more for games if I could. And then he turns around and says, oh, but the used sales. Fuck off. make your game worth $60, and I'll happily buy it for $60. Or, you know, grow a set of balls and fucking charge less for your games, or introduce price drops at increments. Actually try and undercut the used sales. But you're not gonna, because, you know, you wouldn't make more money that way, and ultimately that's what this is about. So I'm sorry, I've got limited sympathy for you. No, I've got no sympathy for you. Either make your game worth $60 or fuck off.